Oh, hey, you pressed play. I totally wasn't sure whether you were going to press it or not. And I'm so excited that you did because I've been wanting to talk to you about flirting, and now's our chance. I wanted to ask you what kind of flirt you are. I mean, okay, the way I see it, there's at least two different kinds of flirts. So the first kind sees flirting as like an activity. It's something that you do. You're into somebody, and you see them at a party or a bar, and you engage in this conversation with them, and that's flirting. It's an activity. But the second kind of flirt sees flirting as like a whole orientation to life. It's a way of being in the world that allows you to flirt with everyone and everything. Now, if you're the first kind, you miss out on so much of the magic of flirting. Like right now, obviously, I'm flirting with you. From the beginning of this conversation, I've been flirting with you. And the flirt is not a like, I'm into you, so let's get it on kind of flirt. The flirt is I've got something exciting. I've got this possibility of something to share with you. And I'm gonna suggest it. And I'm gonna invite you to share in it with me. You don't know what it is, but if I've done my job right, I've suggested to you that something good is gonna happen, and you have a choice to decide whether you're gonna enter into that good thing with me or not. It's like, if there is someone that you're into, and you're flirting with them, you're doing the same thing. You're letting them know something's possible. And if you flirt really well, then you give them an experience that in and of itself is enjoyable, but that's an invitation that they don't need to respond to. You say something like, "You're really cool." And you just say it in a way where you're really genuinely expressing your liking for them. And they will feel liked. And if nothing else happens, they walk away from that interaction having felt liked. On the other hand, they might take you up on this suggested offer to have a connection with you. They could respond by complimenting you back or thanking you or saying any number of things. They're accepting your overture to connect. Now, for those of you who don't flirt because you find the prospect too intimidating, you don't want to start by flirting in these high-stakes situations where there's something that you really want from somebody and so there's pressure. Instead, think of the ways that people flirt with other people who they're not into. Like, for instance, people flirt with little kids all the time. Like, imagine you're on the playground with the little kid that you know, and they pick up a rock. Then you'll encounter the rock with them and you'll say, "Hey, what do you have there?" "Ooh, a rock. That's exciting. Nice rock. What are we gonna do with that rock?" It's all just an invitation to this possibility of something good. And people do it where they like are subtly manipulative. Like they say, "Hey, you know, when you get done cleaning your room, if you want, we could go out and play catch." And so you're offering them something. You're letting them know that you're manipulating them, but you're offering them this possibility of something good. And it's possible to treat everybody like you treat a little kid, not like infantilize them, but be playful with them. Assume that they're interested in connecting and playing, and that they're interested in connecting and playing with you. Another way to think about it is you could treat everybody like you are totally attracted to them. That special energy that you bring only to the people that you're attracted to, you could bring it to other people, not as a way of falsely coming on to them, not as a ruse, but as an actual expression of interest in them. You pass people on the street, you interact with the cashier, you interact with the bus driver, anybody. There's always a moment when you can do that. You know, if you notice the cashier is, scanning the items really quickly and operating the register in a really facile sort of way, then, you can notice that they've been doing this a while and you can say, "Wow, you've been doing this a long time, huh?" And in doing that, you're just saying, "I notice you. I notice something about your experience, and I'm interacting with you in a way that's an invitation for you to interact back." Maybe this is a context in which people don't generally get real and really connect with each other, but with me, you could. And because I am a really interesting person to interact with. And that is the key to flirting with people. You have to know how interesting you are, how lucky anybody would get to play with you. So that when you're inviting and suggesting that it's you that they're gonna get to have if they take you up on your suggested offer. So you have to get in touch with your own awesomeness, your uniqueness, your specialness, your humanity, in order to then reach out and connect with somebody else's humanity. Now, of course, it's not just people that you can flirt with. One of my favorite flirts, I flirt with trees all the time. I mean, I have a special relationship with trees, but when I walk by a tree, I'll have this moment of like, ooh, I can have this kind of sensual caress and be like, "Wow, that's some rough bark you've got there." And I won't say that out loud to the tree, but I'll think it, and I'll have this moment of like, I wonder if I could climb this tree, but instead maybe it'll just be like I'm just giving it my weight for a moment. It's It's just a little, I'm having a little dance with the tree. It's just a moment of the possibility of something. And then I walk away having enjoyed the interaction, and I hope that the tree does too. You can flirt with the food that you're about to eat. I mean, if you encounter some really green, beautiful, juicy looking snap peas, you could have this moment of thought to yourself like, wow, I could bite into these right now and it'll be a crunchy, juicy, delicious experience, and it'll be healthy and good for me. And so you kind of look at the peas and you're like, I'm gonna bite into you right now. You don't say it to them, but you know that something good is about to happen. On the other hand, you could be like, you know what, peas, I'll eat you some other time. It's time for cookies now. I'm gonna be unhealthy. I'll eat you peas later. And that can be an exciting flirt that you have with the possibility of cookies and unhealthiness. And then when you've got your dish after you're done, you know, what are you gonna do with that dish? Well, you could have this moment with the dish where you're like, I'm washing you right now. You're not gonna be another one of those dishes that accumulates in the sink. I'm gonna wash you so good. You're gonna be so clean. All right, it's this exciting possibility of what could happen with the dish, because something else could happen too. I mean, you could just cavalierly leave that dish on the table and you'd be like, I'm not washing you at all. This is gonna be a wash-free day. There's the possibility of something exciting. Another thing people do with food that I like a lot is when people pray before they eat, it always seems to me like they're kind of flirting with God. It's like you're saying to God, hey, I've got this big delicious plate of food and it smells really good and I'm really hungry right now, but you know what I'm thinking about? You. Yeah, that's right. You're on my mind right now, even as I'm about to eat this food. Right? It's an exciting flirt. It's a flirt with the infinite. Now, it's not just you that can flirt with things. Things flirt with you all the time if you stop and notice. Like, before I was filming this, I noticed that my shoelace had come untied. And so I bent down to tie it, and then I thought, oh, well, maybe these shoes want to come off. And so I flirted back, and I took the shoes off, and now I'm actually barefoot right now. And if you could look down, you would see my beautiful naked toes. And there are all kinds of other ways that things flirt with you, like something catches your eye in the distance. You know, it's a flower, something, and you were trying to pay attention to somebody, but something else keeps drawing your attention. Well, it's flirting with you. Do you want to flirt back? Do you want to check it out? This happens all the time with interchange, with my year-long counseling training. Someone hears about it from someone, and then a year later they see something, and then it just comes into their consciousness in some way that it's flirting with them. It's just a possibility. It's a suggestive invitation. And they get to decide, do they want to flirt back? Do they want to check it out? Do they want to consider that it's maybe something for them? Right, so not only are there opportunities endlessly for you to flirt with everyone and everything, but the world is flirting with you if you stop and notice, and you can figure out whether you want to flirt back or not. I invite you to try on this orientation to life approach to flirting. And just for right now, the next person that you come into contact with, find some way to flirt with them. Get into them. You know, in whatever way you're into them, get into them. Show them that you're into them. Suggest and invite the possibility of something more really good with you. And don't just do it with a person. The next thing that you come into contact with after you're done watching the video, see if there's some way you could flirt with it too. It's just about recognizing that in every moment, so much is possible, so much more than we usually allow ourselves to notice. When you get excited about the good possible things that can happen, you flirt with everything.